in the heart of Renaissance Florence, a city of breathtaking art and brutal politics. One man dared to write a book so dangerous it would be banned for centuries. A manual for power, stripped of all morality, that would forever change the course of history. This is the story of Niccolo Machiavelli and the dark, forbidden wisdom of the prince. What if everything you've been taught about leadership, about being good and just, is wrong? What if, to win, you must be willing to do the unthinkable? Imagine the year 1469. Florence is a dazzling hub of commerce and culture, but beneath the glittering surface, it's a viper's nest of shifting alliances and deadly rivalries. Powerful families like the Medici pull the strings, and the city is a pawn in the larger game of Italian politics. This is the world Niccolo Machiavelli was born into. He wasn't born a prince or a nobleman, but a citizen of a republic, a man of intellect and burning ambition. He watched as fortunes were made and lost, as leaders rose and fell, not on the strength of their character, but on the ruthlessness of their actions. At 29, Machiavelli secures a prominent position in the Florentine government. He's no mere he's a diplomat, a political analyst, sent on critical missions across Europe. He meets kings, popes, and mercenary captains. He stands in the courts of power, observing, listening, and learning the brutal mechanics of he sees firsthand that promises are broken, treaties are just temporary conveniences, and survival depends not on ideals, but on cold, hard calculation. One figure, in particular, captivates him. Cesare Borgia, a man of audacious ambition and breathtaking cruelty. Borgia carves out a state for himself through cunning, deception, and violence. Machiavelli Borgia is not a monster, but a masterclass in how to acquire and hold power in a chaotic world. But fortunes in Florence are as fickle as the wind. In 1512, the Medici family returns to power, and the Republic Machiavelli served as shattered. Accused of plotting against the new rulers, he is arrested, thrown into a dark, damp prison, and subjected to the strappado, a brutal form of torture where his arms are tied behind his back and he is hoisted into the air, dislocating his shoulders. In the depths of his despair, broken and exiled from the city he loves, Machiavelli does the only thing he can. He begins to write. Each night, he retreats to his study. He casts off his mud-stained clothes and puts on his old courtly robes. He imagines himself back in the halls of power, conversing with the great minds of antiquity. It is here, in forced isolation, that he distills a lifetime of observation into a slim volume. A letter to the new prince, Lorenzo de' Medici. He calls it The Prince. It's not a plea for a job. It's a warning, a guide, a desperate attempt to teach the new ruler how to be strong enough to protect Florence from its enemies, both foreign and domestic. And what is the core of this terrifying little book? Machiavelli shatters centuries of political philosophy. He argues that a ruler cannot be bound by traditional morality. To maintain the state, a leader must be prepared to act against faith, against charity, against humanity, against religion. This is the infamous idea. The ends justify the means. If the goal is the survival and stability of the state, then any action, no matter how cruel, is permissible. It's a shocking departure from the idea that a good ruler must be a good man. For Machiavelli, goodness is a liability. He then poses a chilling question. Is it better for a ruler to be loved or to be feared? The ideal, he says, is to be both. But since that's rarely possible, it is much safer to be feared than to be loved. Why? Because love is fickle. People will break the bonds of love whenever it suits them, but fear is held in place by the dread of punishment, and that never fails. A wise prince should inspire fear in such a way that he avoids hatred. He must not seize the property or the women of his subjects. Be feared, yes, but not despised. Machiavelli also redefines the concept of virtù, or virtue. It's not about being morally good. Machiavellian virtù is about skill, cunning, strength, and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. A prince must be like a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten away wolves. He must know how to be a great pretender and dissemble. He must appear to be merciful, faithful, humane, and religious. Especially the last one. But his mind must be prepared to act in the opposite way when necessity commands. It's the ultimate political performance. Machiavelli never saw the glory he craved. The prince failed to win him back his political career. He died in 1527. His name still obscure, his book only circulating in manuscript form. It was published 5 years after his death, and the backlash was immediate. The church banned it. His name, Machiavelli, became a synonym for evil, for cunning and deceitful tyrants. To be Machiavellian was the ultimate insult, but the book that was publicly condemned was secretly being read in every court in Europe. Kings, prime ministers, and revolutionaries studied its pages, learning the forbidden arts of power. From the courts of Henry VIII to the strategists of Napoleon, from the boardrooms of modern corporations to the campaign headquarters of political candidates, Machiavelli's ghost lingers. His ideas are uncomfortable, they are disturbing, but they force us to confront a timeless and unsettling truth about the nature of power. He wasn't necessarily advocating for evil. He was describing the world as he saw it, a world where idealism is punished and pragmatism, however brutal, is rewarded. He held up a mirror to politics, and we have been horrified and fascinated by the reflection ever since. The Prince is more than just a historical document. It's a timeless question posed to every generation. In the pursuit of a greater good, how far is too far? What lines are you willing to cross to protect what you care about? Machiavelli offers no easy answers, only a cold, clear-eyed assessment of what it takes to win. The dark art of power he described 500 years ago is still being practiced today, in the shadows and in plain sight. The world is still a stage, and we are all, in some way, players in Machiavelli's game. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the mind of one of history's most controversial thinkers. If you find these explorations of power and philosophy compelling, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. What other dark ideas should we uncover? Let us know in the comments below.